Hello everyone. If you ever heard a chilled witch pair inside of a scream stop everything, Mrs. Silent is now absurd service. The story Aaron Colu had survived burned rooms, hostel, negotiations and slow pits fights assaults continues, but nothing prepared him for the sound of his danger voice. That night, no crowing, no screaming, just a witch pair, thin, trembling and full of fear. Papa, my back hurt so much I can't sleep. Mommy sighed, I am not allowed to tell you. This word stupid time around had just returned from a 3-day business trip. His school kit was still by the door. His mind has been exporting the familiar, returning, speaking, running toward him, learning, scared what gift he brought. This time inside his found fear, standing in the doorway, spoiling only 8 years old, curtained the edge of her bedroom door as if it were in the only thing keeping her upright. He scolded were hundreds here easy, fixed on the floor. She looked smaller that he remembered, smaller than a child even showed. That please don't be energy. She whispered again. Mommy sighed if I tell you. Think we'll get word that sentence shortened something inside him. Aaron cannot slowly keeping his movement generality, his forensic, his buoyance to remain clean, even as pains burned in his chest. I am not energy so hard. He sighed, I am hero to project you. You did the night think by tilk me, but shopping didn't relax here. Vengeance toasted here. Fabricy of her pajama, short until it ornicled and scorched my back hard all that time. She sighed, I can sleep. Mommy sighed if was an accident. When Aaron resounded out, Spohing finally hit sharply and cried out in pain. That was the moment he can know. That was not an accident. That was not discipline. That was fear. After a long silence, Spohing finally spoke again. Her word falling like broken cards. I spilled just. She sighed. She got energy. She sighed, I don't eat no purpose. She purpose me into the closet. My back hit the handle. I called Bartins. She told me not to tell you. She sighed, Bartins old happiness. Aaron didn't shout. He did fancy. He didn't confront anyone that night. Instead, he had what every responsible adult must do when a child finally finds the change to speak. He listened the hidden reality, chilled above sight, reality annoyancy itself lordly. It harnessed behind clean house, behind police smallets, behind foreigns like. It was just discipline or kid's exigency, and most dangerously, it hidden behind fear. Children are often taught to stay silent, not beasts. They want to lie, but beasts they are afraid of what will happen if they tell the truth. The night Aaron stood with Spohensi until she fell asleep, carefully without touching her. Back the next morning, we told her that a doctor. The examination confirmed what Spohen's which pair had already revealed in giant constant with forensic not accident. From tree. The purpose began. Doctor documented everything. Authorities were notified. A counselor was brought in to help Spohing's interesting on Churchill toast. What happened was not here felt the power of speaking up in investigations was difficult, painful, quality, devastating, but Speaking was safe. Her mother was removed from the home pending legal proceedings around adjusting his work completely turning down tablet choosing fancy over promotion hearing did not happen overnight. Some night Spohing is still weak, up carrying some day the struggle to trust, but slowly with constantly patency and conditions. Love the fear, lost turned it gulp on everything. Months later, Spohik looked up at her father and said something that made every hard decision worth it. Papa, my back don't hurt anymore, and I am not scared to tell the truth. Where this story, mother, this is not just a story. This is a reality of millions of children around the world. Educational message. Children often stay silent because they are disturbed or fascinated. Absurd can be emotional, physiological, and it often happens in normal house. Or if a child whispers instead of screams, listened every more causing. Beloved children when they speak silent, protons, absurd, trist, protons, children. Finally, if you are a part, teacher, relative, or neighbor, be the safe place a child can speak. If you are a child reading or hearing this, canoeing this toast deplore you are not one, you are not weak, and telling a toast can save your life. The silence after the toast, the home no longer felt the same after the toast come out. It went louder, it went missiles, but something invincibly had suffered like the air itself had learned to hold it bounced around noticed it in the smallest details. The way Spohik posed before answering simply question. The way she top-finished when someone listened their voice. Even no television. The way she apologized for things that weren't a mistake. I am sorry. She would say if you. She dropped a spoke. I am sorry. She whispered if she walked so slowly. This word heard around more than a report from a doctor or social worker. Because absent children don't just carry burned, they carry fear turned into habit. The long read to hurting triply began twist awake. At first, Spohik bluntly spoke. She called the same picture again and again, a small house with no doors. The therapist never resolved here. Hearing, she expounded, don't begin with question. It begins with safety. Slowly, Spohik started to walk about how Angel felt like a storm that called a fall without warning, about how she learned to stay cold, to stay invisible, about how she valued pain, was pain meant for vegan bed. One day, the transport penalty corrected here. Pain is not discipline, she sighed. and love never recognized fear is Pohik cheered for the first time. In the second, not from fear, but from realizing a father guard around carried his own burdened guard. He replied every business trip in his heart every time he told himself, my family is safe. Every moment his mistake silent for Patsy. He learned a painful truth many partners face too late. Behind a provider is not the same as began processed, so he changed. He designated promotions, he worked from home. He attended every dear pray, second every school meeting. Every court movement is for him needed him to sit beside her without speaking, not to fix, but to stay. The courtroom and the consequential when the scene went forward. Sporting did not have to triumphantly in front account. His statement was recorded guarantee with professional turned to products children. From Fountain's trauma, justice was not loud. It was not dramatized, but it was firm. Her mother was ordered into mandatory treatment and freedom from inspections contract. The global was not rebellion, the goal was protection and essentially the educational tool we must face. Many people asked why didn't the child spoke earlier? Why didn't anyone notice it? The answer in inconfoundably but necessary children are often threatened into silence. Fear is a powerful choice, absurd, often hidden behind responsibility, and society still struggles to bear children. Over adjust, this is where educational matter. This is where uncertainty saved lives. A small moment of hope on every night. No, months later, Aaron found a spohic sting on the floor, blowing again. This time the house had door and window and people holding hands. What that he escaped spohic smiled. A real on. This one house, she sighed, with door I can open and window so people can see inside. Around instant responsibility is safety silent in danger. Lesson of part to harding take time, patency and belief. Children don't need perfect partner, they need safe ones. Speaking of may break a family image, but silent broken a child. Production is love in action. When safety becomes a habit, holding those annoyances with celebration is Arrow's quality. On morning, Aaron noticed Spohig sloped peaceful for the first time in months. No clear-hand fast, no sudden grumps for years, just slow, sturdy brooding the king, children, and supported to him. That was when he realized something important. Safety is not a movement, it is a routine. A child who learned she could save not. As we turned into months, Spohik changed not suddenly, but starting she learned that no was a complete sentence. Extent we are not crimes, love did not hurt. At school, when a classmate grabbed her backpack to a religiosity, Spohik stopped it back and sighed clarity and flew me. Please don't touch me like this. Beatrice noticed this single sentence spoken without fear meant more than perfect greetings even cold. Breaking the choice around began speaking publicity about partner at partner meeting, workshop and court conversation. He shared what he had learned absent often is cultists in silence. Children are turned to products, adults even harmless ones. Asking, "Are you okay?" is not end. We must ask again and listen differently. He did exhaust. He educated pieces awarenesses broken chills before they were handed into transition. The mother choice part of the course learning recorded spoke mother to understood counseling change was not guaranteed, but responsibility was not negotiably absent. Their rough side is often learned, but it is never exclusively. Some crawlers end with punishment, others end with transformation. The Lev demanded accountability. He Harding demanded vulnerability, a cold victory. Once everything is spoken, child met into the choice beside her father holding a bag. She had just finished recording Papa. She sighed, her voice told if someone had a child, even if they say didn't tell. The child should till right. Aaron slowed the lamp in his throat. Yes, he sighed already. She noted, stopped. That was the victory, not anger, not revenge, but interesting. The final education message. The story and we are many must be in with responsibility. The partners, parents, mother more than probation. To teacher and creativist watch for silent, not just barnist. To communicationist, potentiality children is everyone's job. To children, your voice matters, even when it shortcut. Final lesson. Absent survivors in Soviet hoarding grow in light, and something else it taking it change a life is on urgent when listened when a child finally whispered, "Please help me." The promised we own our children. Years later, the house outside. Choijo looked at the sun from the outside. Naughty treatment graced. Would fancy out every instant. But inside everything was different. Spohik was no longer the little girl was whispering in pain. She had grown into a confident just someone who lodged freely, spoke clearly, and trusted her own voice. And Aaron had learned the lesson too many learning only after tragically. Children did need perfect home, they need safe one. What changed everything the night spoke was not the end of something. It was the beginning of honesty over image, the beginning of listening over assuming, the beginning of partition over designedly. Aaron often told about how early the toast could have stood hidden, how on more trip, on more ignored sign, could have rewarding everything, but on which pair changed the factor. The truth society must accept. The story is not read. What read is when at last listened absent went already look bewilderment, something it look like silent, something it sound like observation, something it hidden behind the world finality. And if you weigh educational matter more than comfort, the promise there is a promise every social arts its children that their pain will be valued, their trade fear will not be dismissed, that tree safety matters more than repulsion when a child is toy. Please don't tell. What they really means is I am afraid and fear. This are better production, not punishment. The last word on everything a spy prepared for bed. She paused at the door and looked back at her father. Papa, she sighed, gonna thank you for listening that night. Around Smalley tossed his easy, filled with trust, not he replied. Thank you for being brave. Final message to the readers. If you remember one thing from the story, remember this listened when children spoke, even when they which period question silent child production every confront. Mrs. on toast adjust can change a lifetime, and something a child which pair is the loudest toast you will ever hear. Thanks for watching, and please like, comment, share, and